Good day everyone! My name is Noramie Talino, and this morning we will be tackling the chapter 10, Creating a Positive School Cultures. But before that, let's first have the learning outcomes. So, at the end of this chapter, you should be able to first, explain the meaning of school culture. Second, discuss how school culture affects learning. And the third one, cite ways by which you can contribute to the building of positive culture. Before we are going to proceed, let's first highlight this one. School cultures matters. According to Fulan 2007, school culture defined as the guiding beliefs or values evident in the way the school operates. Is it because this influences to a great extent on how well students perform? The school culture is creation of all people in the school community, especially the school head. It can either be a positive or a negative. It facilitates and adversely affects the learning. A school community must therefore strive to create a positive culture. So as a future educator, we should take value to create a positive school culture in order for the students to feel comfortable, safe, and do their task immediately. Before we are going to our formal discussion in this morning, let's have first an activity. So this activity is what we call the Name It. So, I will going to read different episodes and you are going to identify which norms of school culture is being illustrated. Is that clear? Okay, let's start. So, since we have a 12 episode that we are going to be presented in this morning, but I only choose 5 episodes that I'm going to be presented. So, let's start with episode number 1. So, it's stated here that when high school students arrive for pre-calculus class, they know exactly what to expect. Projected on the screen are clear instructions for the day's success starter. Everyone is expected to work on them successfully. So this is what we call a high expectation. Now, let's proceed to episode number 2. It's stated here that you may not reach an answer today. You may not reach an answer tomorrow. Struggle is okay. Students know that by the third day, they will be expected to present their understanding and problem-solving strategy to the class. So, this is what we call a honest and open communication. Now, this is the episode number 3. So, I'm going to flash the screen and you are going to read it if you have a time. So, this is the episode number 3. Kindly read. Episode number 4. Episode number 5. And this is the episode number 6. And the episode number 7. Number 8. Number 9. And episode number 10. So, in episode number 10, is stated here that Teacher Paz remarks, I like to attend that CPD seminar. I like to hone my teaching skills and update my PCK. So, when we say PCK, it is a pedagogical content knowledge. This is what we call a reaching out to the knowledge base. Now, let's proceed to episode number 11. Good teaching is honored in this school. So this is what we call a appreciation and recognition. So the last one episode is my school head protects my academic time. She keeps meeting time to the minimum. So this is what we call is protection of what is important. So that's all of my report for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned a lot. Thank you and God bless us all.
Good morning everyone, I'm Dela Fuente, and today I will going to report about the meaning of school culture, second, culture as a social construct, third, school climate and school culture. So first is the meaning of school culture. So the term school culture generally refers to the beliefs, perceptions, relationships, attitude, and written and unwritten rules that shape and influence every aspect of how a school functions. But the term also encompasses more concrete issues such as the physical and emotional safety of students, the ordered lines of classrooms and public spaces, or the degree to which a school embraces and celebrates racial, ethnic, linguistic, or cultural diversity. And school cultures can be divided into two basic forms: the positive cultures and negative cultures. So first is positive cultures. So positive cultures provide a safe, supportive, encouraging, inviting, and challenging environment for students and staff, which in turn allows students' academic achievement to evolve interventions and strategies for creating a positive schools cultures will be recognized and discussed. Second one is the negative culture. So negative cultures is a schools with toxic cultures don't have a clear sense of purpose, blame students for poor achievement, and have norms that reinforce inactions. And also, according to Spacey, school cultures consist of the norms and shared experiences that evolves over school's history. In fact, Scott and Marzano state the school cultures are reinforced by norms, expectations, and traditions, including everything from desk books to discipline systems to celebrations of achievement. Therefore, it may be described as the character of a school that gives a school qualities beyond its structures, resources, and practices. They are built through the everyday business of school's life. It is the way business is handled that both forms and reflect the cultures. Next is culture as a social construct. So, culture is a social construct, not a genetic construct. This means that school culture is therefore something that we do not inherit or pass on through the genes. Rather, it is something that we create and shape. It is shaped by everything that all people in schools see, hear, feel, and interact with. It is the creations of the school, head, teacher, parent, non-teaching staff, student, and community. And the last one is school climate and school culture. How does school climate differ from culture? So, these terms are frequently used interchangeably, but school climate is more relational. It is illustrated by the attitudes, behavior of the school staff, and is focused on the style, not school organizational system. School climate refers to the school effect on students, including teaching practices, diversity, and the relationship among administrators, teachers, and students. School climate is driven by and reflected in daily interactions of staff, administrations, faculty, student, support staff, and the outside community. And school cultures is a deeper level of reflections of shared value, beliefs, and traditions between staff members. School cultures refer to the ways teachers and other staff members work together and the set of the rules, values, and assumptions they share. School culture is a broader term and so is inclusive of school climate. So that's all.
Good day everyone! By the way, I am Honeycelle and today I'll be going to discuss the role of school culture in learning. But before anything else, let's define first the school culture. According to Fall 2007, school culture can be defined as the guiding beliefs and values evident in a way school operates. It also refers to the atmosphere in the classroom that reflects the importance of work undertaken by both students and teachers. It describes the norms that govern interactions among individuals about the activities and assignments, as well as the look of the classroom and the general tone of the class. Thus, school culture really matters. It can be positive, negative, or toxic. A positive school culture fosters improvement, collaborative decision making, and professional development that can provide a safe, supportive, encouraging, inviting, and challenging environment for students and staff, which in turn allows students to have a better performances on their academic achievement. A negative or toxic school culture fosters the opposite, meaning it don't have a clear sense of purpose, blaming students for achievement and have norms that reinforce inaction. In addition, it discourages collaboration and often hostile relations among staff. In other words, negative or toxic school culture are more on self-preservation than collaboration. Now, let's proceed to the 12 elements of a positive culture. First elements for a positive culture we have collegiality. So when we say collegiality, it is the relationship between your colleagues. So in school, helping each other is very essential. You work in an atmosphere where responsibility and authority shared by everyone. It stimulates the enthusiasm among teachers and reduces emotional stress and burnout. Collegiality creates a sense of belonging among organizational members and make the bonds more cohesive. Another elements for a positive culture we have experimentation. Teaching is an intellectually an exciting activity. Around here, we are encouraged by administrator and colleagues to experiment with new ideas and techniques because that is how teachers in school improve. And we can drop experiments that do not work and be rewarded for having tried. In other words, experimentation, it welcomes the mistakes as part of the learning process. No student, no teacher will be punished for a mistake. Instead, they give a lot of lesson. According to Thomas Edison 2007, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." In his quotes, he reminds us that even in our efforts don't seem to provide results. It doesn't mean if you are a failure, you will give up. Consider them as a part of the process of finding what does work. Number 3, we have high expectation. In a positive school culture, teachers believe that students will make accelerated rather than normal progress, and that pupils move above their current level of performances. Like for example, you as a teacher, you will expect your students to achieve the average to above average. Number 4, we have trust and confidence. Teachers, school heads, students, and parents relate well and work well when relationships are solidly built on trust and confidence. In fact, honest and open communication is possible only when there is trust and confidence in each other, in the school and the community. Number 5 elements for a positive culture we have tangible support. Everyone in school community gets concrete support for the good that they do. Support comes in not just in words but in action. So it is very important to have support from our family, from our friends, from our relatives, neighbors, or other people who supporting us, because by supporting us we can make a difference, right? So having a support to each other, we are uplifting and we are helping others to deepen their understanding about their abilities and purpose. Number 6 elements for a positive culture, we also have reaching out to knowledge base. So there are generic knowledge bases about teaching skills and how students learn, about teaching methods in particular areas, about young people's cognitive and affective development, as well as about each of the academic disciplines. And these knowledge bases are practical, accessible, and very large. The knowledge base about teaching is available repertoire of moves and patterns of action in any area available for anyone to learn and to refine to do skillfully. This particular norm, reaching out to the knowledge base, is one of the most least understood and most neglected. It is also one of the most powerful for rejuvenating and ailing school culture. In school where knowledge bases are cultivated, a common language for talking about instruction emerges. This language reduces the isolation commonly experienced by the teacher. Number 7, we also have appreciation and recognition. Certainly, words of appreciation and recognition make classroom climate highly favorable. A reminder to teachers, you are not made less when you praise others. Instead, you become greater. So don't be stingy with your sincerity praises. The problem sometimes is our eyes. We are quickly see the negative and we are blinded to the good and we are overlooked and fail to appreciate. Number 8, we have caring celebration humor. Kids don't care what you know until they know that you care. They don't listen to teacher when teacher doesn't care. It may be good to remind teachers that many of students, especially those who struggle, don't receive nearly enough positive feedback in the classroom or in their personal lives. Number 9, we have involvement in decision making. In a positive school culture, involvement is very important. Involving others who are concerned with decision to be made enhances sense of ownership and it feels them important. So now let's proceed to the number 10, which is protection of what is important. What school considered important must form part of their traditional and so must be protected by all. For example, school canteen policies that include no soft drinks, no chocolate, and Clay Go. School implement this policy in order to consider the nutrition and health and as well as the cleanliness of the school as important. Second to the last, we have tradition. A school must have intentional culture-based program on shared values, beliefs, and behaviors. This strengthens sense of community. A truly positive school culture is not characterized simply by the absence of gangs, violence, or discipline problems, but also by the presence of a set of norms and values that focus school community's attention on what is important and motivate them to work hard toward a common purposes. The last number for a positive culture, we have honest and open communication. No one gets ostracized for speaking up his mind. The atmosphere is such that everyone is encouraged to speak his mind without fear of being ostracized. Disagreement at every decision is agree to disagree. And that's the end of my report. Thank you everyone for watching and for listening. I hope you learned something from my report. So now let's proceed to the next report.
Good morning, I am Christine Ono. So today I will be going to report about shared norms and teacher and student norms. Shared norms for both teacher and students contribute to a positive school culture. According to Boss and Larmer in 2018, shared teacher norms and student norms to contribute to a fair and engaging learning environment, a characteristic of a positive school culture. They check on the following norms each week. So when we say teacher norms, teachers are committed to students and their learning. They must know the subject they teach and how to teach those subjects to students. They are responsible for managing and monitoring student learning. And student norms are the behavioral expectations or rules of the class. It informs us on how are expected to behave toward each other and toward the materials we use. Table 6, we have teacher norms and students norms. Teacher norms. Number 1, teach in a different way. So, ang teacher natin is mayroon din silang iba't ibang paraan the way sila magturo. Number 2, call students by their name. As a teacher, kailangan mo rin tawagin ang kanilang pangalan, especially kapag ikaw ay nagpapa-recitation. Number 3, care about students' feeling, understand their situation. So, as a teacher, kailangan mo ring unawain ang kanilang damdamin ng iyong mga estudyante, especially kapag sila ay mayroong pinagdadaanan. Number 4, have a good attitude. A, stay calm, maging kalmado. B, use kind words, gumamit ng mga mabubuting salita. C, have patience. As a teacher, kailangan mo din magkaroon ng pasensya. D, greet students and say goodbye. So, as a teacher, kailangan mo din mag-respond sa iyong mga estudyante, especially kapag sila ay nagsabi na good morning ma'am, goodbye ma'am. Ganon. Number 5, help students understand. A, work at reasonable pace. So, as a teacher, kailangan mo maging konektado sa iyong mga estudyante. B, explain clearly. So, kailangan mo ipaliwanag ng malinaw. C, support different learning styles. D, expect the best. So, alam mo natin, ay yung mga guro is mayroon din sila mga expectation. E, re-explain if necessary. So, kailangan ipaliwanag ulit kung kinakailangan. 6. Attend school the majority of the time. 7. Be respectful. 8. Give everyone what they need. So as a teacher, hindi dapat tayo maging favoritism. Dapat lahat mabigyan ng kanilang mga pangangailangan, especially when it comes to learning. B. Use proper language. So as a teacher, kailangan mong gumamit ng tamang lingwahe, especially yung mayroong the same spelling but different pronunciation. C. Allow space if needed. D. Use supportive verbs when explaining. So as a teacher, kailangan mo ding gumamit ng mga inspirational words, motivation para mas maingganyo pa ang iyong mga estudyante. E. Call by your name. Kailangan mo ding tawagin sa inyong pangalan. And lastly, we have a growth mindset. So as a teacher, kailangan mo ding mas palawakin pa ang iyong kaalaman at kailangan mo ding maging open-minded sa lahat. Next, we have student norms. Number 1, have a growth mindset. So, as a student, is kailangan mo rin palawakan ang iyong kaalaman or nilalaman and maging open-minded sa lahat. A, believe you can improve. So, as a student, is kailangan mo rin maniwala na mayroon ka pang kayang gawin o improvement sa iyong sarili. B, failed forward. So, kahit ikaw ay nakaranas sa mga failure o anuman, so dapat think positive always and that failures keep it as a inspiration and move forward. C, keep trying. So, kahit ganun, kailangan mo rin magpatuloy and subukan. D, speak positively about your abilities to learn. 3, be responsible for your work. A, have materials ready. Ihanda ang mga bagay na kailangan. B, advocate yourself. So, may karapatan kang ipahayag ang iyong mga thoughts and ideas and etc. C, be a professional. D, meet deadlines. So, kailangan mo rin bigyan pansin yung mga deadlines sa iyong mga gawain. E, B, participate. F, be on time to the class. And 4, listen. So, as estudyante, kailangan mo makinig sa iyong teacher, to your classmates. C, to your guests. And D, to the direction. So, number 5, attend school the majority of the time. 6, be a good team player. A, provide good and helpful feedback. Maging mabuti and maging matulungin. B, stay calm. Maging kalmado. C, encourage other. D, stay on the topic. E, be considerate. F, use proper language. Yun na nga, especially kapag yung same spelling and different pronunciation. So, G, communicate clearly to students and teachers. Next is we have the takeaway. So, school culture is a character of a school that gives a school qualities beyond its structure, resource, and practice. It is created by all the people in the school. It is not inherited and so it is passed on through the genes. So, dito is mauna tong ato ang norms, values, mission, vision sa isa ka school. So, it is created ang kanang norms, values, and mission and vision. Dili lang na gina-create sa isa ka tao, gina-apply po na siya and tanan sa involved diri is sa school and sa institution. Next is school culture includes school climate, and so school culture is broader than school climate. School climate is relation, while school culture is a deeper level of a reflection of shared values, beliefs, and traditions. So, sa isa ka school naman tayo ginatawag na mission, vision, goals. Dila. So, dila nagasulat to ang beliefs, values, and traditions. So, sa isa ka school, dili man guta pare-pareho og mga beliefs, religions, ug unsa pa. So, dila sa school gina-apply ang isa ka tao sa isa ka estudyante, teacher, or unsa pa man. So, dila dapat gina-apply na to ato ang goals, values, missions, o vision sa isa ka school to have na goal to have na ginatawag na peace community and harmony community at iba pa. And lastly, we have undoubtedly school culture affects learning, and so school must by all means build positive, not toxic school culture. So, nga naman nagabuhat ang school og mission, vision, values, goals, or unsa pa man. So, and ang freshman gina-memorize yun na sila. So, of course, para ma-introduce yun sila kung sa yun ang mission of vision and values and goals dila niya institution for them to apply. So, that's all for my report. Thank you.